Detroit's better than Green Bay. Even with Aaron Rodgers, they were better than Green Bay, but Aaron was good enough to keep the games in suspense. Jordan Love's not there yet. This was a blowout. This was ugly. So you give Detroit the better quarterback in this matchup with the better roster, yet it's not close. Also, Detroit, both their coordinators are going to get interviewed for head coaching jobs next year. Their O-line, top 3 or 4 in the NFL. What you're seeing with Detroit, and this is what good businesses do and good teams do, they had a vision, and they're patiently putting it together. So first thing, they moved off Matt Stafford, got a little younger at quarterback. Went and got another number 1 pick, Jared Goff, got younger at quarterback, acquired picks. And then they get Dan Campbell, offensive leaning as the NFL pivots to offense, players coach, physical presence, very optimistic, very positive guy. That's what Detroit needs. Then they rebuild the offensive line. They go get a great tackle. They extend their center. Offense, new quarterback, offensive coach, rebuild the O-line. And then defense wasn't very good. They've had to add edge rushers, get some free agents on defense. They started last year 1-6, lost a lot of close games. Then they won a few close games, and now here they are. And I think Dan Campbell and Jared Goff work well together. Neither's ever been given the respect. Dan Campbell, let's be honest, that opening press conference came across a bit of a semi-meathead. And people kind of roll their eyes at Dan Campbell. But when you talk to people close to the organization and you watch the team play, they play really smart football. It looks like a smart football team. Well prepared, finish strong, add the pieces they need to. Then there's Jared Goff. Do you know Jared Goff against the spread is the best quarterback in the NFL last 6 years? Why? Because he doesn't get any respect, and yet he's really, really good. He's the best quarterback in the league against the spread. So Campbell and Goff are two talented guys who don't get a ton of respect, and they use that as jet fuel. And that's fine to have a chip on your shoulder. That'll win you some games if you don't have a great roster. But what happens now with Detroit is they've got a really good roster. It's young in spots, but the O-line's excellent. Defensive line now feels good. Weapons, I like them. So they have this energy that they've been doubted, mocked, the butt of jokes, and then combine that with a really, really good roster, especially in that division. What do they say? Preparation meets opportunity. This is their opportunity. Chicago's a mess at quarterback. Green Bay doesn't know what they are at quarterback. Minnesota's probably moving off their quarterback. And the best quarterback in the NFL, 4 out of 5 years, usually wins their division. And Jared Goff is now the best quarterback in that division. He's always been a good primetime quarterback. You know, he's 14-8 in primetime. Kirk Cousins shrinks. Jordan Love is whatever he is. And Justin Fields isn't good anytime. So now you have Jared Goff, not respected, chip on his shoulder. Dan Campbell, not respected, chip on his shoulder. Add that jet fuel to actually a really good roster. And so I think there's this moment in time. Minnesota, we talked about before the season. We kind of feel like they're going to move off Kirk Cousins. It wouldn't break their heart to have a top 12 draft pick. Chicago probably redoes quarterback in the draft. Green Bay, they don't know what they have. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it over its head? They don't know. But here's what Detroit is. They know what they are. Good coordinators, great O-line, run game works, improving their defense, good primetime quarterback who throws a beautiful football. They had a plan. They had a vision, step by step, patiently implemented it. And I said yesterday, I thought Detroit was the better team. Now in that division, they have, in my opinion, the best big primetime level quarterback in a primetime game. The better team, the better roster, the better O-line, and the better quarterback won in a rout on the road. It's not fool's gold. It's a real thing. Detroit's here, and they're going to win this division. So what do we make of Jordan Love? Okay, so in first half numbers, he's been awful. He's been absolutely awful. Jordan Love first half stats. 47% completion percentage, 66 passer rating. He's awful. He's the opposite, though, of Russell Wilson. He's been good in the second half. So it's weird. Why? Usually a young quarterback could be good on script and deteriorate. He's apparently terrible on script, but he can make plays happen. So my takeaway of watching Jordan Love, and I said before the season, give me until Thanksgiving. He's been sitting in the system, good coach, good O-line, although David Bakhtiari's out. Give me about Thanksgiving, I'll have a feel. He doesn't look panicky. He doesn't look overwhelmed. He moves well. Nice athlete. How about that left-hander out of the end zone? He's got a little clever play. Right now, running back Aaron Jones, not 100%. Left tackle David Bakhtiari not playing. Interior O-lineman banged up too. Those are crucial pieces, so let's be fair. But you do get to week 4, 5, 6 in the NFL, and everybody's banged up. So here's what I would say. I don't understand quite. The first half is bad. The second half is good. My guess is he just has no feel for the game because he's been sitting for 3 years and hasn't played. Right? Like he just doesn't have any feel for it. Burrow's got great feel. Mahomes got great feel. Caleb Williams, you'll watch him this weekend, great feel for it. Those guys have played a lot of football, high school, college, and pro. This guy played at small Utah State, sat in the bench for 3 years. He hasn't played. He doesn't have any pocket awareness. Sometimes he's got open receivers and he sails it. He just doesn't have enough reps. And the problem is, now he does miss some open throws, but I don't feel like he doesn't have good mechanics. I like his mechanics. I like his size. I like the way he moves. I like his temperament. I like him at the podium. He could be better with a left tackle, an interior offensive lineman, and a healthy Aaron Jones. But Aaron Jones, running backs get hurt. So there's a lot of moving parts here. I'm going to wait. But I do think there's something to be said. It is interesting that he's awful in the first half and good in the second. And that tells me is he just doesn't have a ton of pocket awareness. He doesn't have a feel for the game right now. And, you know, they always great quarterbacks always talk about you can kind of sense stuff and feel stuff. He doesn't have that. Right? Like sometimes he throws a little early, not panicking, throws it early, sometimes high, sometimes wide. Guys are open. He misses stuff. Some of that, I think, is just the talent's there. The feel isn't there. And so let's wait till Thanksgiving. But, you know, it's like they say about golf tournaments. You can't be bad consistently in the first half. They say about golf events. You're not going to win them on Thursday, but you can lose them on Thursday. So the last 2 weeks, he's lost the game for the team. He just got really lucky. Derek Carr got hurt, and the Saints couldn't move the ball. But he has played himself and that offense out of these games. They got a huge break with Derek Carr. But, you know, Detroit, Jared Goff playing 4 quarters, it wasn't particularly close. It was never really a threat. So, I don't have a definitive opinion. He doesn't look scared or overwhelmed. He doesn't have bad mechanics. The ball sails on him from time to time. I just think he doesn't have a feel for the game at all. He just, you know, with Trey Lance, we talked about this, but Trey had some mechanic throwing issues. I don't see those with Jordan Love. I see a lot of stuff I like, pre-snap stuff over time, but there is an awareness feel thing to this sport and that position. And that's what we talk about Brock Purdy at San Francisco. 4 years starting in high school, 4 years starting in college. He's got a feel right out of the gate for the position. Trey Lance didn't play, and there was this, he didn't have a feel for it. It matters. Reps. Malcolm Gladwell. Reps, reps, reps. So I think Jordan Love has a chance to get there. He's been just so bad early. I like him at the podium. I like his temperament. I like his size. I like the way he moves. He's an easy thrower. Not terribly accurate all the time. Again, it's not a mechanical issue. And there are guys, Sam Darnold had a slower motion, Tebow slower motion. Justin Fields doesn't feel like a natural thrower. It looks good. But I think this is one of these, I don't have a strong opinion. I don't feel he's overwhelmed. We should panic. But it's pretty ugly early. And some of this, though, is just this. Detroit's really good. And they have a better roster and a better O-line, and they controlled the clock, and that made Jordan Love sit longer and watch the game. Most of this is Detroit's better than Green Bay. They were better with Aaron Rodgers both times last year. But Aaron's so gifted, he kept us in suspense. Jordan Love's not there yet. Last night, there was no suspense. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.